Hey everyone, it's Rachel here, and today I want to talk to you about how I was able to run up until 2 days before I delivered my third baby and how you can too. So this video is for you if you are if you're currently pregnant or even if you're thinking about getting pregnant and you're concerned about maintaining your level of fitness through that pregnancy and or you may have had a challenging pregnancy previously, and maybe you're concerned about how you're going to be able to get through. Sometimes it is that get through the next pregnancy, let alone be able to run or do any other types of activities that you might want to do. So, like I said, my name's Rachel, and I am a physical therapist and a postpartum run coach for moms. I have been a PT for 15 years now, and I've been a run coach for just about a year now, helping moms get back to running. So that's really my passion, just because of my own experiences that I've had with getting back to running after my last two children. So what I want to go over today, I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about my experience, but also the things that I did and the things that you can do too to make sure that you're able to run through your pregnancy, or run as much as as much as you want to, or as much as you're able to through your pregnancy. So about me, in my second pregnancy, I had severe SPD or pelvic girdle pain, and I had to stop running at 6 months pregnant. And I could barely walk. It got to the point where I had a tough time getting dressed, even getting through a day of work was challenging in and of itself. So I had to, like I said, I had to stop running at 6 months, and then I didn't start running again until and I didn't start running again consistently probably until about a year postpartum. I did try before that. I tried going out at about 8 weeks postpartum, which I now know was too early. Current guidelines suggest waiting till 12 weeks minimum before you start running after you have your baby. But it was sort of on again, off again for me as far as my running was concerned. I just I couldn't run as fast as I wanted to. I couldn't run as far as I wanted to because I still had lingering pelvic pain. And that was the thing that was just, it was holding me back. And through a long series of events, and doing a lot of research on my own, I was able to finally rehab myself and get back to running consistently so that I was able to do a half marathon while pushing my son in the jogging stroller. And that was at about 15 months postpartum with him. So he was baby number two. And then I became pregnant. So kind of fast forward a little bit here. I became pregnant with my third child, my daughter, who I had last December. And when I became pregnant, I was like bound and determined that I was not going to go through the same thing again. I did not want to be in the same place that I was before. I didn't want to have to stop running unless it was like medically necessary for me to do so. I didn't want the pelvic pain to be a limiting factor. And I was also concerned too, because there's a lot of evidence to suggest, and also, you know, evidence as well as, report from other moms that SPD or pelvic girdle pain often gets worse in a subsequent pregnancy, just because, I mean, it's the same thing as, pregnant for the first time to pregnancy for the second time, right? You usually get bigger sooner. It's kind of like the same thing with the pelvic girdle pain where your body's like, oh yeah, this again. And so things just kind of open up, and that's where pain sort of sets in. So I didn't want that to happen again to me. I didn't want to be sidelined by the pain. I obviously didn't want to have pain with like getting dressed and standing on one leg and doing the stairs. I was just definitely not wanting to have that. So what I did was the exercises that I essentially created because I did a lot of research. I did continuing education as a PT, lots of study into women's health stuff, pelvic floor function, core, the role of the core in exercise and stabilizing the pelvis and rehabbing postpartum. So I put together an exercise program, and that's how I got back to running and how I was able to do that half marathon. So I actually continued doing a lot of those basic exercises, even when I was feeling good and even when I was back into running regularly, and then even through my pregnancy. So yes, I modified those exercises, some of them if I needed to, while I was pregnant and while my belly grew. But by continuing to do those exercises, those stabilizing exercises, those core and pelvic floor exercises, I was able to manage my SPD pain very, very well. So I actually had like a better experience with my third pregnancy than I did with my second, and which was amazing. And I was able to continue running up until 2 days before I delivered. Now, running I use a little bit loosely. It was more of like an interval jog, let's put it that way. So it wasn't like I was consistently running, long on the weekends and doing my regular like 3 to 5s during the week. I eventually, just because the weight of my belly, I had to break it down into intervals. So I did, a little bit of running and then, a minute of walking or 30 seconds, depending on sort of how the day, how the day was or how I felt at the time. But I was, I was running. I was running up until a couple of days before I delivered. And so the reason why I was able to do that was because I kept up with my exercises and continued them. And then after I had my third baby, I started with the exercise progression back at the beginning. So I went back to day one, ground zero, and then worked my way back up again. And now at almost 9 months postpartum, I'm going to be doing a half marathon in a couple weeks, in less than 2 weeks. So I'm doing a half marathon this time around way sooner than I was doing one the last time. And to be honest, my training after my last half that I did after my second baby, I still had a lot of lingering pain and discomfort when I did my runs. And this time around, it's so much better, so much less pain, so much more comfortable. I can't say that I don't have any pain or discomfort, but it's definitely not limiting. It's not lingering afterwards. And I can continue with my training schedule like no questions asked. I don't have to worry about that holding me back or being a limiting factor. So my message to you is this is rehab your body after you have your baby, and don't stop rehabbing your body. Don't stop your strengthening exercises, because the strengthening is what is so important to maintaining your overall strength, your overall endurance, your overall wellness through pregnancy. And then that sets you up for a better recovery postpartum too, right? Because if you can continue your exercises and maintain your strength throughout your pregnancy, getting back to it afterwards is going to be that much better and that much easier. Now, mine is sort of a special case because I had the pelvic girdle pain. Not every mom has that, but I think that it holds true for the same. So even if you don't have, I have a lot of women who say, well, I had a fairly easy pregnancy and my labor and delivery was pretty easy too, and I feel great. So I just want to get back to running, like as soon as possible. Well, all those things are well and good. However, it's still important to start at the foundations and then work your way back up, and not start running until the 12-week mark. And again, that sets you up for better strength, for better endurance in the long run. Even when you, like I said, even when you are sort of out of that rehab phase of like your postpartum recovery, keeping up with strengthening exercises that work on stability, that work on your core, that address the pelvic floor. Yes, that should be part of your regular routine, is working your pelvic floor. Then that just enables you to run longer and stronger and better in the long run. And then if and when you decide if you want to have another baby, then you're in just that much better of a position for running through that pregnancy. So that strength piece, a lot of runners don't like to hear, myself included. I can't say that I love doing strengthening exercises, but I know that by doing them, it's keeping me injury free. It's basically keeping me pain free, and it's allowing me to run on more days of the week than I'm doing strengthening. So at this point, I'm only strengthening twice a week. Sometimes it's 3 days a week, and it's anywhere from some days it's like 20 minutes, and then other days I can get in like 30 to 35 minutes. But really that's it. That's all that I need to do to maintain where I'm at. And so do that. Strengthen. It's important. Don't just run. Running is good exercise, but it doesn't replace the importance of strengthening. So comment below. Do you have any questions about anything that I talked about here? And sort of what's your take on strengthening? Yay, nay, you know, love it, hate it, love to hate it. Where sort of do you stand as far as your strengthening is concerned? Are you doing enough strengthening, or are you somebody who is, are you chronically getting injured? That's definitely a sign. Do you chronically have like little aches and pains, little like nagging things? Do you experience any pelvic floor stuff? And to be honest, pelvic floor is connected to hip pain, back pain, SI joint pain, pubic symphysis pain. So if you do have like chronic, what are known as like running injuries, it might be that you need to do some pelvic floor work with your regular strengthening. So let me know below where you're at with your current strengthening program. And do you need more help? Do you need some help with your strengthening program? Sort of not really know where to begin. Like, what does it mean to strengthen my pelvic floor and my core, with my other exercises? And if you're looking for some more guidance there, I can certainly help you with that. Like, as I said, I'm a PT and I run coach, so I'd be happy to help you out with that. I love working with moms who are pregnant and moms who are postpartum. So if you would like some more information, or you want to find out how to work with me more, you can certainly send me a message, or drop a comment below and let me know. I offer free one-on-one virtual sessions just to sort of meet and greet and find out where you're at with in your journey, pregnancy, postpartum, what you've tried, if there's anything that you haven't tried, and where you'd like to be. So what your goals are. So we can talk about all that and then decide together whether moving forward and working together would be the right fit. So I'd be happy to chat with you and set that up. Just send me a message, and hopefully talk to you soon.